Hi, this is Tim Linnett, Doctor of Pharmacy and creator of the caffeine calculator that you just received.
The first important thing for you to know is that there's something called a half-life. And this is essentially the time that it takes for your body to break down caffeine by half. So if you start with 100 milligrams of caffeine, and let's say you have a normal half-life of 5 hours, that means that it'll take 5 hours for that 100 milligrams of caffeine to be broken down by half to 50 milligrams. Some people are slow metabolizers and some people are fast metabolizers. And there's a variety of factors that we know that can influence your half-life.
The first group here is the fast group.
Your genetics play a factor in making you a quicker metabolizer. Smoking can increase the speed that you break down caffeine. And there are some naturally occurring substances that are found in fruits and vegetables that can also speed up how fast it takes for you to break down caffeine.
And then the slow group.
Age will affect how slow you metabolize caffeine. The older you are, the slower you metabolize caffeine. If you're pregnant, that'll also slow down how quick you metabolize caffeine. Genetics can go the other way. It can either speed up or slow down your metabolism. And then finally, if you're on birth control, that can also slow down the rate at which you break down caffeine. Another way to look at this that's a little bit more simple is to call it caffeine sensitivity. So if you're not sensitive to caffeine, or you have a paradoxical reaction, is another word for that, essentially that means you can have a whole bunch of coffee. Some people say they can even have a couple cups of coffee right before bed and it doesn't affect their sleep at all. So essentially this is the non-sensitive group. Those are people that either break down caffeine very, very quickly, so it doesn't really affect them, or they just don't react to the stimulant effects. And then there's the sensitive group that can have 1 cup of coffee and they're really affected by it. That's the kind of person that says, I consume caffeine like a single soda in the afternoon or some chocolate at night, and it makes it extremely hard to sleep.
These are the types of people that have to deal with the stimulant effects of caffeine when they don't want to. And it's really hard for them to fall asleep. And the only way for them to get around this is to avoid caffeine altogether. Or they can use supplements to remove caffeine from the system.
The sensitive group is what we designed our dietary supplement for, daily decaffeinate. So once you take the quiz, you can find out if you're in the non-sensitive group or if you're in the sensitive group. Once you get your score from the caffeine calculator, you can see where you are on the sensitive or non-sensitive group. If you have a score of less than 13 points, you'll be in the non-sensitive group. If you have 13 to 18, you're pretty average. Maybe you have a caffeine half-life of 5 hours. And then if you're in the sensitive group, you'll score more than 18. And this is kind of a rough example. The calculator isn't exact science because you probably have to do genetic testing and things like that, or get blood draws and really find out how long it takes for you to break caffeine in half. But this will be a really useful tool for you to know that if caffeine is something that you're really sensitive to or not, and really it's based on how long it'll take your body to break down caffeine. So go ahead and check out below the caffeine calculator and you can calculate your results.